Exactly 8 minutes after 9. This is the business breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Trevi Hammond, and that was blessed by Damien, featuring Damien Mali, and that's by Wizkid, really. All right, so let's get into our roundtable discussion for the day. Now, today we're talking about Ghana's gold. Now, we all know that Ghana has a lot of gold, but the big question is that what does that gold actually do for the Ghanaian economy? And recently, or just a few days ago, we've had Gold Board, and the Ministry of Finance, and of course, Bank of Ghana and the Chamber of Mines have actually decided that Ghana will get to purchase 30% of the gold produced by large-scale mining companies here in Ghana. And government says that strategy will help build our reserves and strengthen the city. But how does gold accumulation translate into currency stability? Can it help bring inflation down? And perhaps most importantly, when does the ordinary Ghanaian begin to feel the benefits? And this morning, that's what we want to look at. We're going beyond that particular headline and examining the economic impact of our gold strategy, from the Cedi and inflation to investment growth and the cost of living. So my guest is John Che. He's a financial analyst, and he joins me over the phone lines for this conversation. John, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hammond, and good morning to all your listeners.
I hope you're doing well.
Yes, I'm doing well.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Good to have you this morning. Let's get into our conversation. I want us to begin with the 30% arrangement. So what exactly are we trying to achieve by, having Gold Board purchase 30% of the gold produced by large-scale mining companies?
Yes, I think let me start from this. I don't know. I think last time we discussed issues driving our currency fluctuation. And I think I made it clear during that conversation that, there have been this kind of narrative that Ghana, because we don't export much, that's the reason why always our imports are far more than exports. And as a result, there's always pressure on our city. And I think I made it clear that, it's not really the case, because if you look at it from 2018 to this time, you realize that, we have been experiencing, net exports, which suggests that our exports have been more than our imports, which suggests, we should be fine as far as, our imports are concerned, and that shouldn't bring a lot of pressure on the city. And I mentioned that it looks like even the exports that we have, most of them go to foreign investors, to the extent that you look at the loopholes around our exports, you see Ghana wasn't really getting a lot. We were not retaining much to serve as a buffer for our currency, stability and its effect on inflation and the rest. So it is and I think during that conversation, I made it clear that, if you want to overcome this, pressures on our currency and all that, there's a need to make sure we retain as much as our exports we have done previously. And I think I mentioned that the way to go is to locally own most of our export companies, to the extent that we have to get a policy in place that will allow us to, accumulate, or let's say to retain most of our exports than what we are, we have been experiencing in the past, so that conversation will shift. And I think that is exactly what, these current managers are trying to do. I think they have realized that, Ghana has been, producing gold, and I think we have been noted as a gold producing country by, in fact, everybody. But we still complain about not having enough dollars. We are always just excited about 1.5 months, import cover and the rest. And I think what the managers want to do is that, no, this is the right time to put in policies that will help us retain as much exports as we can. And I think it's a very good decision that they have made. And now I really have so much confidence in our economy going forward. And I'm sure maybe we should think of even increasing the percent. 30% is not, big. We have to find a way to even increase it to about 70%. And I think when we get to that point, we will be fine as a country. So it's a very good policy. I think the goal is that, we're able to generate enough foreign reserves from our gold. We can't be a gold producing country without realizing they benefit from it, because most of these gold companies are owned by foreigners. And I think we want to change that narrative. Even if you don't own it, we want to buy it and sell it and get the forex than private people having the forex and controlling our economy in any direction. And I think it's a good decision that our managers, the economic managers, have made. And I think we should even scale up more, and we should even extend it to other sectors, not just this one. We should extend to other sectors, especially oil producing fields. We must extend to that. Maybe we can have a negotiation like this to buy maybe 30% of the crude oil produced by companies like, Talo Oil and Aker Energy. Once we're able to get all these policies in place, I'm very sure the economy will become very strong in the near future.
I see. You mentioned quite a number of things, and hopefully, as we get into the conversation, we'll try to, speak to some of them. One of the things that you spoke about is the fact that you expect us to even increase from 30% to about 70%. But can we acknowledge that the 10%, the 20% that it was before, and now the 30% is significant?
Yes, it is very significant. We are talking about additional 10% from large mining companies. It's not small scale. It's a large mining company, and you are increasing your buying capacity from 20 to 30. That is 10. If you look at 10% of the total exports from this large mining company, it's very, very significant. It can change a lot of things, and I think this is just the starting point. And if we can go up more, if at this one is even enough, but if you can go up more to, let's say, about 70%, that is really going to, help us a lot. Because the point is, why do we have a gold mining companies in Ghana and they sell the gold outside and get the forest? What are they using the forest for? Because they are companies in Ghana. Most often they are foreign investors who get these dollars. We want to control the dollar movement from our country and into our country. And I think it's important that, we even increase it further. Okay. But as I said, the additional 10% is very significant. In fact, if you look at the numbers in terms of the dollars that will come into in the government, it's significant. I think if you do the math, it's about additional $5 billion, getting to $5 billion. That is, coming to government. And that is significant. That is very significant.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So now let me come back to the question I asked. So are we saying that this is, the primary objective for this initiative or this agreement is basically reserve accumulation? Has it got anything to do with foreign exchange, maybe access to foreign exchange? Has it got anything to do with Cedi stability and all of that?
Yes. So you see, there are two objectives of this policy. The first one is to accumulate enough gold, so reserve accumulation, and also to control export of gold, so that we can also get a lot of forex from our gold export. And so it means that it's serving two main objectives. The one is to increase our gold reserves, which we have been doing well. But you remember, these gold reserves is there for us to sell them and get forex, and that's why in beginning, getting to the end of the year, we saw government selling a significant amount of our reserves in order to get a lot of forex and that is why if you look at our import cover, it has increased significantly. Do you get it? So all the point of the gold reserve accumulation is to have enough gold to be able to sell at any point in time to show up our dollar inflows, so that we are in that capacity to always meet demand for dollars as far as the economy is concerned. Okay, so it's very a good policy, and I think our managers. I think last week at Friday I was listening to the finance minister, and he said he doesn't want us to go to IMF again, and he feels the goal for us to, because you see, the one thing we don't know is that people have been talking about gold ball losses and a whole lot of things. But you see, what this policy has done for us is very significant. Let me give you an example. For a whole year of 2025, our Cedi, seeing and appreciation of about 40%. Do you know what it means? It means a lot. One, in terms of the effect on inflation, in terms of exchange rate stability, in terms of our debt to GDP numbers, in terms of our economic outlook. So it's we shouldn't, and I'm surprised we are talking about loss. Because you see, in the past, what was happening was that we didn't have any control. We pride ourselves as gold producing country, over so many years. But I mean, we didn't have anything to show for it. Always running to IMF for a few dollars at a very significant cost. What was happening was that we borrow. If you look at the euro bonds that we have accumulated since 2013 up to 2024, before gold board came into the scene, you realize that it wasn't really significant like that, but it came with a very huge cost. In fact, if you check from 2018 to 2024, we raised about $13 billion at a rate of 8%. Look at this. Gold board within just 1 year has been able to give us about $20 billion. That is just 1 year. We are not talking about 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. It has given us about $20 billion. Our Cedi is highly, is very stabilized. Our economy is in the right shape. We are meeting our debt obligation. What other costs do you want to talk about? Did you get it? If you are talking about their losses, how is that losses affecting our economy? In fact, you see, so sometimes, the conversation should move from this kind of maybe politics to more of, looking at maybe way that we can even continue this, policy after this government. Because, clearly, the numbers are looking good. The economy is taking shape to the extent that it's even affecting lending rates. And that is because, you see, the major problem of our country has been, import dependent situation where, always our Cedi is moving around the corner and making our economy very unpredictable, increasing our interest costs because, we had a lot of external payments to be made. This policy is helping us to resolve all these issues. And I think that's where we really need to focus on and how. And I think, we will not just give credit to this government because the point is that, this gold reserves thing started, the previous government. This one has come to, improve and make it law. That's why we have the Gold Board Act, to make it law, to make it mandatory. That, the small-scale mining companies that were destroying environment, at least the whole country must benefit from it. If you are all struggling with environmental problems, then the whole country must benefit from it. And I think we are actually benefiting from it. And if you want to extend it to I'm very sure that we're extending to large-scale companies, that will help us solve the problems with the small mining companies. The large companies will give us enough, so that we don't, fight so hard for the gold from the small scale miners, and that normally leads to galamsey activities and the rest. So I think it's a very good thing that is happening to our country. And I think, as I said, we should even move to other key exports. That is whether we can also get more dollars from. And that will help out. Look at country like UK and the rest. Do you know what is making US even, for instance, making the economy very strong? It's because of gold accumulation. Gold, they don't really produce gold. Let me give you a quick example. UK and US, they don't really produce gold in the way we produce, in Ghana. But they have enough gold, and because of that, their currencies are always strong because they have enough gold reserves to back their currencies. Then the whole gold-producing country like Ghana, the second even in the world, we are still struggling with, gold reserves and also, forex. It shouldn't happen. And I think we are on course, doing the right thing at the right time. And I think it's in the long run, it's really going to help us a lot.
John, in preparing for this particular conversation, I was actually doing the research, and it's very interesting that you bring in that same conversation. Now, from what I found, US has gold reserves of over 8,133 tons.
Yes.
We can even talk about Germany having over 3,350. Italy has over 2,000. All of them are in the thousands. Most of the countries, and I think India has in the hundreds. And the interesting thing is that we, as a gold producing country, currently we have about 24.4 tons. When countries that do not produce, are doing thousands, we are in hundreds.
Exactly.
We are in tens.
Exactly the
Can
point.
you imagine?
Exactly the point.
And the highest we've gone in recent
point.
times was 37.1 tons. And that is
exactly
is
the
ridiculous. My question
very,
is
very ridiculous.
why
So it's
have
like,
we, yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
So it's like we are just destroying environment for nothing. I think that's the we are just destroying our habitat for nothing for so many years and still going there to borrow dollars just to show up our currency. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this kind of trajectory where we're moving on? And that's why I fully support the current government. And I think we need to even we need to go further. That's what I'm saying. That even the 30% is small. We need to move on to 70. We need to, not just the gold sector, the other sectors that, engage in exports. We need to, take charge. And that was the last time I mentioned that we should see it as a security, national security threat, and make every effort to, own these spaces. Otherwise, you see, when you don't own let me say that something. Even you don't own the major commodities that is driving your economy, trust me, you are just a caretaker. You are just a caretaker of your country.
Right.
But the real owners of the company, you don't have any control in terms of anything. So that's why I'm very happy that we are moving in this direction, and I think we need to do more in order to help our country. We can develop. You look at just Gold Board, what is achieving for us. How much more? We do the same for others. We will be very good in the long run.
But what I want to ask you is, yes, I was asking a question that what exactly has stopped us from being able to take hold of these things that we're talking about? Our gold, our natural resources, specifically gold, that we are seeing countries that have been able to do thousands of reserve, and we are doing tens of. It makes no sense to me. If for lack of better words.
So you see, our major problem has been the issue of politics, and as a result, not making us look at the long-term planning issues. You see, something like this, someone say, why should I come in? People were even saying that, NPP accumulated enough gold. Why didn't they sell them and use it to show up our currency and allow the currency to depreciate? You get it? And people are even blaming the previous administrators that so you had a lot of reserves and you have allowed another government to come and sell them and a whole lot of things. So what were you doing? And I'm sure even some of NPP people are not happy with what is going on. But you see, the point is that there should be something around. Normally I've been thinking of what can't we have a particular agency that is not really political in nature, and we give them the full backing of the law to do certain things that are more of a long-term nature. What I mean, for example, when it comes to our natural resources, can't we have a natural resource agency? Agency, they are not partisan in nature, but maybe they have been mandated by law to do specific things, like something like Gold Board. No, Gold Board is backed by law. That's why they're able to do what they are doing. Yeah. And in fact, even if the next government comes, you have to continue, because the law, unless you repeat that law, you have to continue, the mandate. Do you get it? Yeah. So clearly, if we can have some of these natural resource agencies specifically designed to, accumulate and, to look after some of these natural resources, to look into how government can, own majority part of some of our natural resources, to look into. So that is more of a long-term, plan, not like this short-term political manifesto promises. We have like agencies that cut across the various political parties, and their duty is to take off our natural resources. Their duty is to enter into agreements that benefit us to the extent that we can have that, like SNIT, somebody like SNIT, the pension funds and the rest. Maybe is this the right time for them to channel some of the investment into these agencies to do this long-term projects. If we're able to do that, you see, it takes that political lens from administration of our natural resources and this instant gratification from selling our resources cheaply to get small coins to achieve some political points. Then they will focus more on that in the long run, so that, I mean, whatever you are benefiting from gold board, and if you do to other sectors, it will help us, I mean, make enough, help us own a lot of our natural resources. And that will, I mean, help us a lot in the future. So maybe this is the right time to have the conversation that our natural resources shouldn't be partisan. It shouldn't be political issues. Let's have agencies that are not by political promises, but mine. And that's why I love that. I mean, Gold Board wasn't just by political promises, but they actually made it into law. Other areas should also be made into law, so that we have agencies responsible for doing their work mandated by the law. If they refuse to do it, somebody can sue them to force them to, I mean, do it. And this 30% thing that we are talking about, it shouldn't just be maybe a policy. It should be backed by law, because, I mean, you know, some of these things can change along the line.
Yeah.
So some of these things, we should be backing it by law, so that, I mean, the large mining companies don't have anything, you know, like it's required by law to sell 30 or 40 or 50 to government. Once we start doing some of these things, I'm sure in the long run, we are going to own majority of our natural resources. And I think that will really help our economy grow. Some people say, oh, industrial. But the point is, we are not doing with the industrialization. If we are not, let's look at our resources and how best we can actually manage them to be better off. Because there are some countries that only have, I mean, natural resources, oil, and they are doing so well. They are very rich. I mean, and so we can also own our resources and prosper our country.
All right, John, please hold on for me. Very interesting things happening, but we're going to touch on, you know, we'll look at the specifics. So we'll touch on gold and the Cedi. We'll also look at gold and inflation, and then what all of this even means for the ordinary Ghanaian who is listening to us this morning. So please hold on for me. I'll come back to that. Let me announce the phone lines. So if you just tune in, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Nitra Hammond. And this morning we're talking about the 30% MOU that has been signed by government, so Finance Ministry, Gold Board, Bank of Ghana, and the Ghana Chamber of Mines to actually buy 30% of our gold, or actually sell 30% of our gold from large mining companies to government, to be able to, you know, keep. And the goal is simply to be able to accumulate some reserves. And that is what we're talking about this morning. You are free to join the conversation. Send us a WhatsApp on 0544 321019. 0544 321019. I would love to hear from you this morning. I'll read all your messages. If you want to call us as well, you can call us on 030 39 56641. 030 39 56641. And then we'll give you the opportunity to share your thoughts. Place a call to me right now, and we'll give you the opportunity to be a part of the conversation. You can also engage us on our social media platforms. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH, and on YouTube, we're at Z Multimedia. So feel free to drop a comment there as well, and I'm happy to, you know, read all of them for you. John, let's continue the conversation. And so now we've established that it's good news, it's significant. Even though it's 10%, it's significant, even though there's still some more work to be done in that particular space. Now, if this policy succeed exactly as the government intends, what should the Ghanaian economy look like maybe in the next 3 to say 5 years that it doesn't look like today?
Yes. I think, you know, if we're able to take hold of our good exports and get a lot of forex from that, I don't think we should be concerned again with Cedi fluctuation. I think that will be thing of the past. Because see, the point is that, you see, one thing we need to understand is that, you know, because, I mean, most African countries are import dependent and our exports are normally not owned by us, you realize that we are always lacking forex. And as a result, we go into borrowings and all those things drive, I mean, our costs, because they are all expensive, I mean, instruments to, I mean, use, right? So if we're able to, get more from our gold exports and get a lot of forex, I think the Cedi fluctuation will be 10 of the past. And you see, the point is that mostly when, countries, foreign investors also see the country is seriously backed by gold reserves, they will have a lot of confidence in that economy. And in that case, they'll be comfortable investing, in that country's economy. And all this kind of, risks that, Moody's and all those people try to, situate our economy will be 10 of the past.
Right.
So that is why I'm saying that this is a very significant intervention. Okay, and I'm very sure, we are increasing by 10, we go up again, Then in the long run, as you said, 2, 3, 4 years, you will see, the Cedi very strong, because, there are some countries that their currency don't even move at all because they have a lot of reserves and all that. And because of that, the currency is very, in fact, if you go to a country like Saudi Arabia, let me give you a quick example. Saudi Arabia, for them, the oil that they have, they entered into agreement with US. And as a result, since 1997 up to now, their currency has not moved. The currency has not moved because they have enough natural resources to back their currency. So if you're also able to achieve the same thing, I think the finance minister said they are targeting 15-month import cover.
Yeah.
That would be very significant antidote to our economy. I'm telling you for a fact. That is really going to be something that, it will be a remarkable achievement by the economic managers. Then what it means is that there's no need to speculate anything. There's no need to worry about the seed. There's no, because it's like we have enough. It's like, you see, it's getting to a point where we have enough, forex to cater for, let's say, 2 years of our import. Then what should you worry about? And once the Cedi is stabilized, it is going to, see, the things like fuel that we import, things like all our import things, is not going to suffer from this fluctuation again. So you see, inflation highly tamed. And then that will be antidote for serious economic, transformation. Okay, so you shouldn't take this thing lightly. It's something good, especially when you hear, the economic managers working together, having the mindset that you want to have 50 months cover for our imports and all that. And that shows that these people are very serious and they don't want, they don't want this to be a temporary thing. And I love the whole thing that every time there's something new trying to improve what they have done. They are not, they are not relaxed with what they have achieved.
Right.
They are not sticking to one plan. You see, improving gradually. And when that happens, I'm sure within 2, 3, 4 years, our economy will be very strong. Speculation will be no more. The Cedi will highly stabilize, and then all this kind of issues of repatriation. Do you know the last time I mentioned that repatriation too is one of the major problems affecting our currency stability. So assume you have 15 months cover, it means that you have enough dollars to shake the market anytime you want. If they are repatriating profit back, that repatriation will reduce because now you are owning a lot of the, you are buying a lot. So it means that repatriation will reduce. And the second impact is that you have enough dollars to meet their demand. So you see the Cedi starting to strengthen, over 2, 3 years, 4 years. And that's a very good news to us. So I think, we should, that's why I'm saying that some of these things should be more, not partisan per se, but we should discuss in a non-partisan way. Right. Look at the long term as we are discussing, and find a way to, make it work as far as the two political parties are concerned.
All right, John. Let's provide some education here. Maybe there's somebody listening to us who maybe doesn't understand exactly all this, how accumulating gold affects the Cedi and all of that. So let's talk about the Cedi. So how exactly does accumulating more gold translate into a more stable, currency? Can you walk us through the transmission mechanism?
Yes. So you see, one thing we need to appreciate is that one major factor that normally drives, currency fluctuation is the issue of confidence in the economy. The confidence in the economy to the extent that when foreign investors see that, oh, this country is accumulating enough gold, what it means that they have a buffer in case there's maybe a crisis, right? You say at first we didn't have any reserves and the rest. So when there's crisis, like what happened to 2022, when there was crisis, there was nothing to use to overcome the crisis. So you see our economy highly exposed. And when those things happen, these foreign investors will start withdrawing their money. And in fact, so even if they have invested in stock exchange, wherever they have invested, they see the country high risk because you don't have anything to protect yourself in times of crisis. So once they even project that there's going to be crisis, they start withdrawing. They start taking their investment back, and that even give a lot of pressure. And that's where the crisis become heightened to a particular situation. Now, you see, when you have enough reserves, one, there's a lot of confidence in your economy. That is why if you look at UK, US, US, for example, you see, in times of crisis, mostly gold prices normally rise when there's crisis. So those countries that have a lot of reserves, they're able to sell it and make enough for us to counter, the effect of the crisis. You get it? So once we have a lot of gold reserves, it means that, that is really going to bring a lot of confidence in the economy to the extent that, everybody will see that we have a buffer to overcome all kinds of crises that will happen. Because as maybe the crisis continue and gold prices continue to rise and we have a lot of those gold reserves, we can be able to sell them and get enough to cater for our expenditures. So that's the first one. The second one is about speculation. One of the major factors that also normally drive currency fluctuation is speculation. Speculation in the sense that sometimes, this whole 1 month, then go to 1.5. So then it becomes, it becomes the whole idea that we don't have enough money, get to a point, import will be difficult. So you see importers, rushing for dollars to be able to keep up to their business. You get it? So if you're able to have enough reserves that we know that at any point in time, when you sell these reserves, there's the amount of money that will flow into the economy. It gives the importers the confidence that the country is not going to lack foreign reserves. You see, for Forex, you see in 2022, there was a lot of speculation that very soon Ghana is going to lack Forex. And that's even exacerbated on the problems that we had. So because of that, you saw importers and people holding their dollars because at that point, they were holding a lot of these foreign currencies and manipulating the market to their own benefit. You see, but when you have enough reserves, the people knows that at any point in time, you can sell these reserves and put it in the economy. So that kind of heightened speculation that normally drive, fluctuations of the currency will also, cease to a point. Then the next thing is that, you see, most often, one of the major factors that have been driving the fluctuation of the cedi is, we purchasing items of capital nature, which comes with huge costs.
Yeah.
And most often these, items of capital nature demand a lot of dollars. So you see, if you don't, you see that the point is that as you don't have control over the dollar. So mostly it's about what you have that at any point in time you can exchange to get dollars. Most often, in terms of all foreign currencies, you just need to have something that you can always sell for forex. At first, we were relying on this syndicated cocoa loan and the rest. But you see, that one came with a huge cost because at the end of the day, you pay interest on all that. But you having gold reserves, what it means is that, and you also controlling a lot of exports of your gold. And because you see, if you look at the yearly gold export earnings that this country was, selling. I'm even talking about the official numbers. I'm not talking about the unofficial numbers. The official numbers, they were significant. But so the point was, why were we still experiencing the problem that we were facing? All because we never had control of any of these resources. We never had reserves. So at any point, our economy is just exposed to any kind of crisis that happened. But now that we have gold reserves, it gives a lot of impetus for us to, always, get forex at any point in time. To the extent that, it's not just reserves that we are also, doing. What we're also doing is that we also export gold and also get. So at first we were not even doing that, but now we, through Gold Board, they export gold. So apart from even what the Bank of Ghana is accumulating in terms of reserves, we are also selling gold on the daily basis and getting forex to Bank of Ghana. So it's like we are doing two things at the same time. Not that we are accumulating the gold. Right. We are also always, getting inflows from our gold export. And that is very significant as far as the economy is concerned.
Now, so that means that if we have more gold sitting in our reserves, that gives the Bank of Ghana greater capacity to be able to defend the Cedi when there's some form of pressure, isn't it?
Exactly. At any point in time, in terms of global crisis, in terms of they have enough to sell to, counter the effects of the crisis.
Then I really think this is long overdue.
And as I said, yes, it's long overdue. In fact, this thing should have been done. Maybe since 2000s. I don't know why we are not having the idea, because we have been exporting gold for over a long period of time. I think if you from 1960, assuming if in 1960 we took over the economy, from 1960 to 2020, look at the number of years, 20 plus 40, that's about 60 good years. We not do anything about our natural resources, and always priding ourselves as the second largest producer of cocoa, the largest producer of gold, the this and that. But your people are very impoverished, and they don't have any money.
You're just producing
they are always desperate to travel. Exactly. A country with gold is gold. Though. We are talking about gold. Like even countries that don't export gold and they even buy the gold, they are super rich. You go to Saudi Arabia, go to Qatar, go to UAE, and you look at the amount of gold they have. You see, then the whole producing, gold producing country, we didn't have anything. So I think it's good that we are changing the narrative. And as I said, you shouldn't stick to this one. We should move to other resources and take full control. And I think that will really help us.
I see. So chances are that if this particular program or particular agreement actually succeeds, what we'll see is that our Cedi fluctuating in a very huge magnitude will be a thing of the past, isn't it?
Yes, will be a thing of the past. Trust me, it will be. In fact, for over 3 good months, I think since last month, I'm not seeing the Cedi moved even in an inch. And I think even from last time that Bank of Ghana reported, I think Friday, it has actually appreciated again. You get it. So clearly, and I'm sure it's because of the back of the news that Ghana is increasing, our buying program from large scale companies to 30%. And that is even making the Cedi go up. So as far as we are moving this trajectory, I don't think we should be worried. We'll get to a point to again worry about the Cedi fluctuation, because the point is that we have gotten a solution. And that solution is working good for us.
Now, one of the issues that continues to come up is the sustainability of Bank of Ghana intervening in the markets and all of that to be able to save the Cedi. What does the outlook look like? Is it going to be something sustainable? I mean, with the interventions, looking at the...
So you see, So you see, if you look at the interventions, you realize that, it's not like we have accumulated gold, we are not doing anymore, and what we have is what we are selling. So there's a difference between, intervention and intermediation. The intervention is where, like, you don't really have a source. So you just look for dollars and pump. There's also a situation where you have it. So this one, it's not like you don't have it, or you have it. You have it in abundance. So when it's demanded, you bring it out. When you do that, that one is more of intermediation. It's not really intervention, like, intervention like, you are intentionally looking for dollars and pumping. But this one, you already have enough. Because if you look at our import cover over 6 months, mean we already have enough. So what it means is that once you want it, we come and then give it to you. You get it. So in that case, that shouldn't be a problem. And the good thing is that you see the gold board activities is also into export, on the daily basis. And all those flows come to Bank of Ghana. So what it means is that, always we have enough for it. So assume you have enough for us and people demand it. Then you said, because I don't want people who question that I'm intervening, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Then what you are going to do is that you are going to keep the dollars. Who does that? So clearly, it's something that is continuous. It's something that always there will be inflows. It's not like what we have. And even you see, I would have been worried if maybe what they are doing is depleting our reserves. It's not really depleting our reserves. You even realize that our reserves are increasing, and you realize that our forest too, our import cover too is increasing, which means that even if you look at the net effect of what they have been doing in terms of bringing the dollars when it's needed, is not something that is taking away what they have. But maybe the net effect is that if at the end of the day, they even increase it. Just that maybe the expected increase because they supply some of the dollars, is not the exact increase that we're expecting. Okay, so personally, I don't think there's a cause to worry in terms of intermediation. The only point that you start, personally, I will start worrying about what they are doing is when I see the reserves depleting, when I see the import cover reducing. Then what it means is that we are not making more, but we are using what we have. But that has not happened. And I think they're even having policies in place to even increase it more. And I think when the finance minister and the governor mentioned that they want to achieve 15 months cover, I'm sure they have. And it's not like they even said 3 years or 4 years. So they mentioned that by 2028, which means that, and we are in 2026, which means that even just 1 year and a half, they expect to achieve that milestone. So clearly, it's not like they have the goal of depleting what we have, and therefore we should be worried. They want to increase it, but anytime it's needed, they want to provide. And I think if you're an economic manager, you do the same thing. The people wanted to buy this, you provide it for them. And I don't think that should be seen as, an intervention that is costing us so much, and therefore we need to be very worried.
All right. Now, John, we'll be wrapping up very soon, but let's look at how it connects to the ordinary Ghanaian. So let's bring it down to something that we all understand. By that I mean prices. What is the connection between Ghana accumulating more gold and inflation?
Yes. So you see, if Cedi is stabilized, and assuming even the war between Iran and Israel, and US stopped, what it means is that ordinary Ghanaian is going to witness a serious reduction in fuel pump price. That will be the first one. The second one is that, you see, remember, in fact, we import almost everything. And most often, what accounts for import inflation is more of, the currency volatility. So once that problem is no more, because you clearly see imported products don't really go up. If you look at the foreign countries, most often their products are normally stable, very, very stable. So it's basically the fluctuation they see that has been moving the price. So assuming the rice you buy, the oil you buy, Cedi is very strong, and as a result, you are not witnessing significant increase in some of these products, and you are still buying them, at 2025 levels, or let's say 2026 levels in 2027, 2028. And assuming your salary is increasing a bit, clearly it will give you some reliefs. You get it. So, yeah. And you see, and one major aspect is that most often, these fluctuations highly also affect lending rate. So you see that, the Bank of Ghana want to achieve a single lending rate so that everybody can walk to a bank, get a loan at a very cheap rate, and use it for business. You can go walk to a bank, get a loan at, let's say, 5%, 7%, 8%. And I know if that happens, I'm sure everybody will go into business, because Ghanaians are very creative people.
Hello.
Sorry. Yeah. So I was saying that Ghanaians are very creative people, So once, I mean, yes, can you hear me, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Yes, Ghanaians are very creative people. The only challenge has been finance. So if that cost can really come down because of the gold reserves, keeping inflation low and all that, everybody, I'm sure, will start doing business, getting loans at a very cheap rate and doing great business with it. Okay, so clearly, I mean, these things we are doing, remember, you see, gold is at a broader macroeconomic level. We stabilize everything that you can think of as far as the general economy is concerned. So once there's stability, once, I mean, even the economy starts growing, then what it means is that we will also have the capacity to borrow, I mean, to lend at a lower rate. All right. Prices are stable. People can plan well. I mean, we don't need to worry about, I mean, speculation and all that. That will keep our economy in a very good shape and everybody will benefit from that.
All right, John, my last question would be in terms of the risk. So, I mean, of course, with what you've said, it looks like if it succeed, we are going to be able to, I mean, we're going to benefit. I mean, it will trickle down to the ordinary Ghanaian in terms of our prices and all of that. So that's good. But the risk at hand, what I'm thinking is that, and I think I've seen a lot of people who have actually raised those concerns, is that we are becoming too dependent on gold as the foundation of our economic stability. Do you agree with that assertion?
Yes, yes, yes. I think I've also mentioned that before. That it looks like it's like we are now focusing on only gold as the only savior of our economy, and that cannot be the case. That's why I'm even saying that we shouldn't end with gold. Because if we focus on gold, galamsey activities will even increase significantly. Now even it's going to be worse than before. So we need to really shift to other things. Like, I mean, we should look at other resources. And we shouldn't, I mean, you see, as we are deriving all these benefits, we must start moving towards industrialization. Okay, so I mean, if you are getting enough from gold board, why can't we start using this process to build factories to replace some of our imports that and we have the resources to cater for? So maybe you see, we must have this mindset that there should be a transition. Because if you look at the developed world, you realize that they started with natural resource accumulation. When they were done, they moved to industrialization. When they were done, they moved to technology. So you could see always moving from one point to the other. Because at every stage, there's a new revolution that you need to follow. So maybe now that we are very keen on our natural resources, we must use the natural resources and transform into industrialization so that maybe if years to come, we'll not be talking about gold being our savior. We're also talking about our big industries that are doing massive things, also bringing a lot of export. Okay, so we have to be intentional about the plan. Maybe the number of years you want to focus on natural resources, the number of years you want to focus on industrialization, the number of years you want to, we have to be strategic about it. And so that you don't depend on just one commodity. And you see, one thing is that one commodity, the price can crash at any point in time, especially gold prices are very volatile. So it can really crash at any point in time when people see gold not really something they need again. So we shouldn't, focus all our minds, our ideas, everything on gold. That gold is the only solution to every problem that we have as a country. But we should gradually be moving the benefits we are accruing from gold to other areas, especially industrialization, like the way we build Tema as Tema. In that Tema Industrial Park, when you hear of Tema, you are thinking about industries everywhere. Why don't we look at other cities and also build them as industrial, cities? You go to Ashanti region, there's a place, we make it industrial city. We go to every region, we are creating industrial city out of it. Once we're able to do this, then you get to a point where not just the good exports that are saving our economy, but serious industrialization is also significantly improving our export. And so, we have to be strategic about some of these things. But the risk, as you said, is very real. And Galamsey too is at a greater risk. So we need to really, look at this.
Right. I said that was my last question, but maybe in maybe a minute or 30 seconds, you can just wrap up with this one. So, what kinds of governance safeguards do you think need to be in place to ensure that the gold that we are accumulating actually strengthens our reserves and maybe not simply another pool of national wealth that can be poorly managed?
Yes, yes. I think you see, we have Good Board Act, and I think there should also be an act to regulate the way Bank of Ghana also go about selling our reserves. I don't think we should sell significant portion of our reserves without Parliament knowing about it. And because you see, it looks like after most people realize that we have sold certain part of our reserves. I mean, when the year ended and Bank of Ghana published their financial statement, I don't think that is the right thing to do. You see, when we are committing reserves as a national security issue, then is selling or anything you do with it, you must seek approval from Parliament. Okay, so once we start seeking approval from Parliament for them to interrogate the selling to see whether it's the right decision, or it can even go to the finance committee, even if you don't want it to be too public. I mean, you can go to the finance committee where there's minority majority to think through the selling of the reserves, so that we know that we are making the right decision at the right time. It's very important. We shouldn't leave it to the governors. I mean, just to make that decision to sell significant portion of our reserves at any point in time.
Absolutely.
It should be more of a bipartisan position to do that.
Right. John, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure having you share your thoughts with us. We're really grateful.
You are welcome. And thank you too for the time. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Please do enjoy the rest of your day. All right. So that was John Che. He is a financial analyst. Very good conversation this morning. I'm sure that you've taken a thing or two. So the 30%, of gold being sold to government, or actually the decision to actually now begin to sell 30% of gold from large mining companies to government, is actually a very good thing. John says that there are some governance, structures that need to be put in place so that we can be able to actually get the best out of this particular policy or this particular decision. And it's been a very good conversation. If you miss any part of it, head straight to our YouTube channel and you can get to play this conversation back again. So YouTube, we're at Z Multimedia. On Facebook, we're at ZFMGH. On Instagram and X, also ZFMGH. And on TikTok, we're at Z Multimedia. Feel free to visit those platforms, play back, and make sense of exactly what we've discussed this morning. Thank you very much for staying with us. And thanks so much to my guest, John Che, financial analyst. And thanks to you as well for staying with us right from when we started till now. We're really grateful. We're back again tomorrow for some more interesting conversations. Tomorrow is a money day, and so we're talking about money. Make sure that you tune in and invite your family and friends to also be a part of the conversations that we'll be having right here. My name is Nitrebi Hamon. I'll see you tomorrow. Up next is A Brighter Side with Jeremy Okoria Mwako. Take care of yourself, and when you think Ghana,